Going with a search space that always keeps bound indices. We'll be going with a search space that always keeps the possible upper bound indices. Yep. So first thing, this one, what do we call main binary search? This one loop. So we'll be considering 2 pointers low as well as the high. So will make the search space always keeps this one possible upper bound indices. Then we'll be going with a condition. If array of mid is greater than target, then we'll move left to find the earlier valid index, else we'll move right. Again, if array of mid is greater than target, then we'll move left, else we'll move right. Just remember this one. Final low gives the upper bound position. Final low will give the upper position. So if you didn't understand everything, it's fine. We'll be articulating the same thing in the form of code. Yep, let's do that actually. Now let's start writing the code. First thing, let's do one thing. Let's write the function to find the upper bound. Right. So I'll just go with here. Let me go with static int upper bound. So this is fine. I have three parameters. One is, or we'll be going with the three parameters. One is array and another one is n, and we need target as well. Yep. So I'll just go with array here. The next one is nothing but int n. The final one is nothing but target. Yep. So this is fine. It's as simple as that. Now within the upper bound function or the method. So first, let's go with the start of the search space, nothing but low. And also let's go with the end of the search space, nothing but high. So we'll be assigning low to 0 and high to n. So I'll just go with int low equals 0. And another one, let me go with high. Let me assign this one to n. Now we have to loop until the search space is valid accordingly with the algo. So I'll just go with low while low less than high. Then what we have to do, let's go with the safe mid calculation, nothing but I'll just go with int mid equals low plus, I'll just go with high minus low by 2. Yep, so this is fine. Next, again, let's go with a simple if condition when array of mid is greater than target. So this one, when array of mid is greater than target, we have to move left. Left in the sense will be, so the potential upper bound will be found. So we'll be moving left. I'll just assign the high to mid. So let's write the simple if condition here accordingly with the algo. I'll just go with if array of mid, if it is greater than high, yeah, if array of mid is greater than, not high, sorry, target. Let me change this one to target. Then what we'll be doing, I'll just assign high to mid. Yep, so this is fine. Now what we will be doing. So if suppose if the array of mid is less than or equal to target, then we will move right. So I'll just go with low and let me assign this one to the mid plus 1. It's as simple as that. Now finally, let me do one thing. All we have to do is low holds the first index, nothing but greater than target. So I'll just return low in this case. Yeah. So this is fine, man. We are done with the coding part. So this is it for the algo. So let's do one thing. Now within the main method, let's consider very simple example. Yeah, let's do that. Just give me a second. Yeah, so I'll just come here. Let me consider array. So let's go with some random numbers. I'll just go with 1, 2. So let's take the numbers that gets repeated double 4. I'll just go with 5 as well as 7. Yep, so this is fine. We have to consider the target element as well, right? Similar to the this one, accordingly with the code that we have written, or similar to the lower bound as well. Yep, so this is fine. I'll just go with target 4. Yep, so then let me assign the index to. So let me call the upper bound function or the method here. So I'll just go with array. So let's go with array dot length as well. Finally, we have one more parameter target. Let me mention that one. Yep. So we are left with only one thing, nothing but we have to print the upper bound index just for the interactiveness. So I'll just go with out dot println this part and let me pass the index part. Yep. Finally, let me go with out dot flush this one. Yep. So this is it for the coding part. Flush because we are making use of the print writer. So we are not making use of buffered reader. So I'll just remove this one. This is not required actually. Anyways. So yeah, we are done with the coding part. I don't see any typos or the errors here. So let's do one thing. Before running the code, let's dry run the code accordingly with the example that we have considered here, right? So that we get to know whatever the code that we have written is correct or not. And also we get to know the output for the example that we have considered within the code. Yep, let's do that. And later we can come back here and run the code that we have written. First, let's dry run the code. Yep, let's do that. So now let's move on with the dry run part. So we are going with the same example that we have considered within the code as input here, right? So array 1 2 4 4 5 7 and target element we are going with a 4, right? So low initially it will be 0 and high this will be 6. You can just count the length of the this one array 1 2 3 4 5 6. So high will be 6 and mid will be we are calculating the mid will be 3, third index, right? So this one 0 1 2 3. Yep. Array of mid will be we are having the element 4, so I'll just mention 4, this element itself. Yep, array of mid 4 and action initially will move right, right? So we will move right. So low becomes 4, low becomes 4. As we are moving right, low becomes 4, right? So this is fine. Now low becomes 4. Yeah, low itself becomes 4 as we have moved right and low became 4. Now low itself becomes 4 and what is the what will be the high? High will be 6 itself. 4 and high will be 6 0 1 2 3. So this one 4 and this one what do we call? High will be 6 actually. So this one, sorry, 4 and this one 6. We are just going with the one based indexing. So here mid will be 5, right? So mid will be 5 and array of mid will be nothing but 7, right? So array of mid will be 7. Here we are considering this one itself, sorry. Yeah. So array of mid will be 7. So as array of mid value is 7, we will move left, nothing but here. Mm, so we'll move left, then high becomes 5 actually. High becomes 5 here, right? So this is fine. Next, low will be 4 itself. Low will be 4 itself and high will be 5 this time, right? So we have updated from the previous step. High will be 5 and mid will be 4. Yep, so mid will be 4 and array of this one, what do we call? Array of mid is nothing but this part. This will be 4, right? Index 4 we are considering. So array of mid, the value will be 5. So we'll move left. This time we'll move left. So when we move left, high will be 4. High will be equivalent to 4. When we move left, high will be equivalent to 4. So loop ends here. Low is nothing but 4. Loop ends here and the this one, what do we call? Low is nothing but it is equivalent to 4. So this is the output that we need to get accordingly with the code that we have written for the upper bound actually. Yeah, upper bound. Yep. Yep. So this is it for the dry run. So now we have discussed the algorithm part. We have written the code. We have dry run the code accordingly with the example that we have considered. We are left with only one thing, nothing but what do we call? this one, what do we call? Mm, Running the code that we have written. If everything goes well and if we get the desired output, then we have to discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. First, let's run the code that we have written. Let's do that. So I have come to the coding part here. Let me do one thing. Let's run the code. So I can clearly see here the output that we are getting is 4. So we had just try run the code. So we had got the same output. So we are getting the desired output. We are left with only one thing, nothing but discussing the complexities for the code that we have written. Yep. Let's do that very quickly. Just give me a second here. Yeah. So what will be the time complexity? The time complexity would lead to big of logarithmic n. So we are going with a modified binary search. So the time complexity would lead to big of logarithmic n. Why it's big of logarithmic n, not big of n? Because we are making use of the binary search, basically, which halves the search space, right? Similar to the this one lower bound. Yeah, we are going with a modified binary search that halves the this one search space every step at every step. So overall time complexity would lead to peak of logarithmic n. So what would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would lead to peak of 1 because only constant extra variables are used, right? So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we have written would lead to peak of log n and peak of 1 respectively. So this is it for the upper bound algorithm that belongs to the modified binary search actually. Yep. Next, what shall we do? We'll be discussing on the topic ternary search, right? So for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.